you get started in farming? Where did you grow up?
Well, actually, I grew up in Markham, but I couldn't afford to live there. And so, but I had actually worked as a summer student out of the Ottawa National Forest Research Institute.
Right.
And so I'd done soil surveys and forest ecology research at the research forest and around this area. I got hired as a freelancer to run the Natural Resources Technology program at Aurora College in Inuvik, and that's where I met Kathleen. And she was from Montreal, and she kind of thought the Ottawa Valley would be a nice area to settle, so then we moved back here, and I was kind of familiar with this area because I worked in it. And we bought the farm to start a tree nursery, and also just to have that blue sky thinking kind of a place. And we gradually went from renting out our pastures to having our own cattle. And we always wanted a sizable vegetable gardens because we were brought up by parents who grew up on farms.
I was working at the same college but in the research institute.
And your background is?
Nutrition.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
You have a master's
Yes,
in nutrition.
I do have a master's in nutrition.
Yes.
That was from McGill. And then, yeah, so I was working up, I had worked on a couple of contracts up north and I didn't want to live in the city anymore. So I went Marshall, and when we said we were going to move back, I said, let's get out to the country. And we found this place. And when we were getting married here, because both of our families come from farming stock, Marshall wanted it to look real, so we got some cattle.
Well, that was in
And
time
this
for the
cow right
wedding.
here was the first one.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You also have
From A to Z with vegetables. From asparagus to
market
zucchini.
gardening. Yeah.
Yeah, and by having livestock, that's a great source of organic nutrition and mulching for the vegetables.
A real cycle.
Yeah, you've got everything you need to conserve moisture and fertilize the vegetable crops by having a mixed farm, and I think that's really important to have. If you can have a mixed farm, then you have the cycle all going
And you're
on.
completely organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We even say beyond organic.
Beyond organic.
I mean, the nice thing about the way we raise the livestock is we have a closed herd, so we're not buying in stockers. We don't have to worry about how the animals were fed or treated, and the calving, and what medicines they might have been given when they were young, and whether they were fed grain, you know, to get them up to weight quickly, because our cattle don't get any grain, only to train them to lead them around and stuff. But otherwise, they're on grass their whole life, and since it's a closed herd, we haven't had any illness because you're not bringing in any animals with a high risk to them. And so you have truly grass-fed beef because they're with their mothers the whole. That's the other thing, is the flavor of the meat is related to the stress of the animal and how comfortable they are and the family life that they can have. And you know, the calves are with their moms their entire life generally. So this is the organic popcorn crop, and it's mostly mature. We're just letting the cobs dry a little bit on the stalk because popcorn has to dry down. And then here's one of our broccoli crops, beet crops. Let's just see, take the chance. Oh yeah, look at that.
Lovely.
Look at that, organic corn.
Beautiful.
So these two beds are a rainbow blend of carrots. These are a bolero carrot, which can get quite big if you let it, but very sweet, good carrot for storage. And then over there is a cosmic purple carrot, and then another bed of really sweet, long, tapered, sort of Bugs Bunny type carrots. And
very nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
And of course we have gardens at all different properties, so we can do a lot of rotation. And garlic and onions and green beans all over on the other property for now.